My name is Nick Vanadium. I'm currently a web administrator here at Fortress ITX, also known as DedicatedNOW and Solar VPS. Yeah.
So Nick, what is the key benefit of virtual over dedicated servers in terms of administration?
In terms of administration, I mean, everything's about troubleshooting, and if you can eliminate hardware as a variable, the job gets a whole lot easier. Moving your data, moving your server, migrating the data from one server to another, in that case, just makes it so much more streamlined. I mean, one big concern that we have moving one server to another is drivers. Always about drivers. Hardware-wise, whether it be the hard drive, a RAID card, a network card, all these all these different things you just have to worry about if moving from one to the other. If it's an older server, suddenly getting an update on something, suddenly now your server doesn't work. It doesn't connect to the network because now the older hardware is no longer supported on newer software. And with virtualization, you don't have to worry about that. Everything is just streamlined. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you changed your network card. It doesn't matter if you changed your hard drive. You changed to a different processor even. Nothing. You don't have to worry about an unexpected surprise as far as I didn't expect my server to be down. Now I have to figure it out, and who knows how long it's going to be down until I figure out how to make these older drivers work, try to track down the drivers. One time we had a hard time just installing an operating system because not even the hard drive itself was able to be detected. So you kind of have a chicken and the egg sort of thing. It was like it didn't have an optical drive. How are you going to get the drivers in there? How are you going to install them? Now once you figure that out, you're finally back on. How many hours did you just waste where your operating system and your server could have been online, your website could have been up, but it's not, and having to deal with that whole hassle. So, I mean, personally, I love virtualization for that key instance. Just don't have to worry about hardware. Man, as far as it's really a case-by-case basis, but I do find that many people have a dedicated server and there really is no need. A person might have a certain site that's very advanced, maybe not necessarily a Facebook or an Amazon, but they get some pretty heavy traffic, so they will need that dedicated box out there. But most people hosting blogs, hosting maybe a penny auction house website or whatever it might be, they don't need this advanced hardware. And even for the most part, even just going back with the complexity of it, if they don't have a dedicated administrator, having a VPS will at least eliminate, once again, more variables to have to start troubleshooting at. If something's wrong with this software, something's wrong, my system's not performing, is it the RAM? Is it a RAM issue? If it was virtualization, wouldn't have that. I need to, I need more space. If it was dedicated, you'd either have to install a new hard drive, a larger hard drive, and migrate the old data to the other. With virtualization, it's just a simple matter of just increasing the queue and their hard drive. It's for many people's needs. Maybe just trying to enter the online industry. It's it should really be the first option that they should consider, and perhaps from there scale up to a dedicated if they need. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, I don't know about throwing out numbers, but I would say it's kind of like flipping a coin. People that are on dedicated that really don't need to be. Then again, you also have the others that are in virtual and at the same time should be on a dedicated. But that's when you take the step up and kind of graduate to another level.
Do you find that in most cases someone who's on a dedicated server, does the idea of virtualizing scare them a little bit because they don't really understand what it actually entails, or is it?
Perhaps. I mean, I would say perhaps. Also, maybe it's also like the perception of virtualization, because don't get me wrong, when you go virtualization, you are getting less power. at the same time, not everybody needs that. But like I said, not everybody is a Facebook or an Amazon. If I had my own personal blog, I'm probably going to get maybe a hit a day, and that hit is from me. And I'm not going to need a dedicated box. A virtual server will more than meet my needs. I think, if anything, to try not to look at it from the power standpoint, to look at it from the mobility standpoint, that a person can literally pack up their server in a file. There's plenty of virtualization software out there right now where you could pack up the whole virtual server in one file and move on to another platform, whether it be from one company to another, have all your data, your operating system, your sites, your Apache configuration files, and you're not even have to worry about migration. It's literally the server on a USB stick, if it's large enough. There's no, other than actually doing a command in the command prompt with, lspci to see, what your peripherals are, there's no way to tell. There's absolutely none. The ways you will tell is with the hassles. You will be able to tell when you're on a dedicated failing hardware. You'll notice like that because your server will be down. For virtualization, you will not be able to tell that you're not on a dedicated, Core 2 Duo or an i7, or you have 3 gigs of RAM from a dedicated machine versus a virtualized machine. There really is no difference.
And that's a good thing.
Absolutely, it's a great thing.